Yes, this is Cuddy Coastal on BS and Viewpoints. My co-host Winston Kabir. This is like a election coverage type of deal as far as tonight. I just want to tell everybody you got to get out and vote. And most people are like, well, we only vote every 4 years. Granted, I understand and know that voting every 4 years doesn't do a lot, but it does do something. The main thing we need to do as people, as different communities, is vote on local things, even if it's every 4 years or every 2 years. If you look at the turnout compared to a presidential election to local elections, it is roughly a 60 or 70% increase on turnout for a presidential election, meaning most of us don't even vote. But what people fail to realize is that locally, what you vote for matters even more than a presidential election. President represents 350 million people. Locally, in your district, they might only represent maybe 4 or 5,000 of y'all. So your vote really counts. So understand that voting is not just for the presidential election, it's for issues locally, it's for judges locally. If you don't like how many people are going to jail, or you don't like everything that's happening in your criminal justice system locally, then you change the people in office locally. Presidential means very little. It means something because it's a figurehead for the country. And you do get rhetoric from the president that sometimes that the party that the president elected for, they typically roll with that person just in fear of the fact that that person will speak against them, i.e. 45. Example given 45, and they will lose out on the election because that has happened before where he's spoken out against Republicans that he did not like, and they were not voted back in. Like they didn't even win the Republican primary because he voted against them. So they're like scared and running for their life. But that's not the point here. The point is locally is where you make your change. Far too many times I see people, oh, I'm just going to vote for this, or my vote doesn't matter. Your vote does matter, but it's not the only thing that matters. Also, your attitude and what you do after you vote matters, because you can't just vote every 4 years and expect change in your community. That shit's irrelevant. Like if you do just vote every 4 years and think things are going to change without you putting in the time or the work, anything. Give you an example. Example given. If you're trying to lose weight, you can't just work out one day every fucking 4 years and expect to lose the weight unless you get sick or unless you change your complete eating habits. You still have to work out. Meaning you still got to do the work. People, we still got to do the work in our community. We still got to do the work. You got to find things to vote for. You got to find businesses to support locally. We don't really support local business. We don't really support a lot of local business. Everything is big brand. We don't give smaller people a chance. Sometimes it's a price. They're like, hey, I want to save money, so I'm going to go mess with the big brands, which is understandable. It's always a penny crunch. It's always robbing Peter to pay Paul with some people for bills. But locally, we need to start messing with each other. Also, a big thing that I see that I dislike is if you don't like the people in office, run for office yourself. Don't just criticize everybody. Far too many people criticize everybody and don't do nothing. Don't just say, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like this person, I don't like this person. Run for office yourself if you want to change things. Maybe everybody isn't as radical as you, or maybe you can find some people radical as you. Maybe you can push through a small portion of your agenda that helps out the masses that they won't even know it. But if you never try, you can guarantee failure. So with that being said, make sure you rock the vote. Make sure you rock the vote locally. Locally matters. Your city council, your judges, your mayor, all that matters. Your sheriff, all that matters. Never let people confuse you that it doesn't matter. Anybody that said it doesn't matter doesn't understand what it does. Or they just feel like no matter what we do as a people, it's never going to reflect accurately on what we should be doing. Man, I tell everybody this, I'm African American, it is what it is. I'm definitely proud to be black. I would never say that I'm not proud to be black, but honestly, we need to do better. Vote-wise, we need to do better. Business-wise, we need to do better. We really do. On every level. There's nothing that you can't. I need to do better in my own personal life. I have struggles, I have demons. We all do. Nobody's perfect. Never claim to be perfect. Never try. All I do is try to be better today than I was yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. So we got to get it, people. Far too many of us don't support each other local business-wise. We don't support each other locally. We don't support anybody that we know, period. Try, in these, before the election, you got 2 weeks and a day, 15 days. Try to support a local business in that 15 days. Vote and try to support a local business. Try to support a local business every day. Try to support a local business that you know the people. And what I mean by know the people is maybe you grew up with them. Maybe you've been knowing them. Maybe you did business with them before. Try to support them. Even if you felt like they did you wrong the first time. Give them another shot. What's the worst that can happen? They do you wrong again, you'll never have to deal with them again because you gave them a chance. But always give people a chance. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Far too many times we criticize each other and we run to others. So don't do that. Don't be like that. Learn from your mistakes. Support each other. And if you feel like the business that you buy from is terrible and atrocious and nobody likes them, then if you know somebody who makes that good or product better than that business, then maybe you should be trying to convince them or help finance them to start a business. We have far too many businesses in our community that reflect us. We have far too many things going on in our community that reflect us. Far too many positive things, and not enough is being critiqued or criticized. I'm still wondering, I live in Ohio, and I've seen it in New Jersey and different places, why we have all these abandoned houses, but yet we have all these different religious faiths. And I'm trying to really see what these religious faiths who take money from our community actually do. I am religious. I just want to know what they do with the money that they get. Because if you got all this money and I see you driving a brand new Mercedes-Benz, but yet I see your congregation starving and are hungry, then I'm going to question you because you got on the jewelry, brand new suits, this, that, and the other. And I understand the pastor's supposed to look nice. The first lady's supposed to look nice. I understand all of this in different religious groups, churches. I've seen it in very, very different religions on a different platform. And I've also seen some churches give away food and do everything. So I'm not saying that every religion or every church doesn't do that. It's up to the individual pastor. But if you see your pastor looking extremely nice and you are not looking nice and nobody in your congregation is looking nice, then you should probably question what's going on. Because honestly, I felt like the community leaders, which have been the religious organization, should have been pushing by the block. Nobody's buying it. I see more younger people attempting to buy the plot than I do the older guard. And maybe it's time for the older guard to let that shit go. Like, let it go. Just step aside. But it's not happening. The older guards still want to hold on to some strengths of power. The younger generation's trying to get power. You need to buy the block. I see kids, doing their thing, repping. They from here, they from there, they from this city, they from this street, they from this neighborhood. They know this person. But yeah, your parents are written on that same block you claiming to be from. So if rent gets too high, they got to move. That makes no damn sense. It really doesn't. So with that being said, buy the block, vote, support local businesses. And if there's not enough local businesses and you see a niche, a window, start your own local business. Because we got to get out of the mindset where we thinking, I'm going to go work 40 or 50 or 60 hours, I'm going to make this amount of money. Maybe we should be in the mindset, we're going to start a business, find some people to support us, and instead of making $1,000 for working 50 hours, I'm going to work 50 hours and try to make $4,000 or $5,000 because I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to do my business, and I'm going to put everything I have into it. Find your passion. Find your legal passion to help others and help others because it's a future generation. If you in your 30s or 40s, let's keep it 100. Just call a spade a spade. It's probably too late for you. I'm in my 30s, 40s. It's too late for you. It's time to help the younger generation get where they need to be, where we should have been, where some of us got, but not all of us got. So help one another, love one another, vote, and mess with one another, business-wise. Stop hogging up all the good ideas. Share them. Love it. Mic drop. Cuddy Coastal. I'm out of here. Stay safe.